Will here, and today we are back in Gran Turismo with the new set of day races. First off, we're starting with race A. We're again in Tokyo, which we were in Tokyo not too long ago actually, I think it might have been actually last week in race A as well, with the Copens. No, because that was Suzuka, it was the week before. But this week we're in there with the Honda? The Honda, the Fit Hybrid, I don't know, it's a car I don't really give a shit about, to be perfectly honest with you. It's like, it's a little tiny thing, you go boom boom boom. But you can see we qualified in 5th, so, I mean, not bad qualifying. This is the second time I did this race. I did do this race once before, and again, qualified in 5th, but I finished 10th. Not so good. But as a warning, some people, this could be quite a bit of a sportsmanship rating and a driver rating killer. Mainly because of the high awards. You can see, because I think everybody I was seeing was just going bosh, bosh, bosh into the walls constantly. You can see I've dropped down to 6th. The Spanish guy who was going a little bit faster in one of the corners, and now we're sort of like, just pulling ahead a little bit. But still 5th, I haven't really gained anything, I haven't really lost anything just yet, so it's like bleh. So, but it's 4 laps, so 4 laps of this rubbish, and it's just like just dragged on and on and on, and I just wanted it to be over, but it took bloody forever for it to be over, really. But I do all 3 daily races, so I've got to get this one out of the way. So unfortunately, you've got to sit here with me and suffer the gear of the race. But as you can see as well, actually, if you've seen any of my videos before, you realise that sometimes I do put all the information on the screen, like lap times, laps, la 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 la. I do put on the screen. But now, as you can also see, you've got my ugly mug in the bottom corner. So, and obviously with me trying to face cam, which I'm still kind of working on with lighting and setting it up and stuff like that, so it may be a bit dark in this one, but as about the moment I don't actually have any lights to sort of like illuminate my face. so but that would be probably something I'll be trying to get sorted out soon. But so obviously, due to now there being basically my facing thing, which again, hello, it does mean I'm going to be changing the layout of the video. So now all the races that I do, race A, race B, race C, they will all have all the information on the thing. They'll all have like the speedometer, the positions, lap times, race map, all the information. Because obviously the way I used to do it, it wasn't a bit like it. As you can see, I've dropped down to 8th. Yeah, we've dropped down to 8th. Well, see, I haven't really been watching because it's just that boring. But I've dropped down to 8th. Obviously, I must have made a mistake here or there. But I managed to climb a position because someone had a bounty, so back them up into 7th. Good. I don't know if the person who's in the 8th now. I think that might be Slovakia. I'm not 100% sure. Let me know in the comments below what that is, because again, flags I'm not like knowledgeable with flags, so. But we're still on, we're on the second lap. We're just come up to the end of it now, and I'm in 7th, so I've dropped a couple of positions, but nothing too bad, nothing major. It could be going a lot worse, like the race I had before. Obviously going a bit wide there. That first corner was like the main corner I had a bit of trouble with. It was always one where I always got it wrong. Always pretty much every time I went wide, and it was just like. So it wasn't great, but it could have been worse. Again, a lot worse. So I've got a Portuguese guy, Algaro, or however you really pronounce it. I don't know if you roll the R. So he's in 6th, I'm in 7th. I'm going to be stuck behind him for a little bit. So it's car 3 behind car 4. Driver rating in the ways for the car numbers again, I still don't freaking get it. Because it's like, I don't know. I've just given up on trying to work it out, to be honest. If you know how it works, please put it in the comments below, because I'm really interested to find out how it works, because there are times when I'm fucking first, kind of one, and I should not be. To what I've heard of people, how people say it works. And you can see there was a penalty there by 2 people actually, Spanish and Russian, and I managed to climb back up to where I started. So again, doing all right. Yeah, I'm not like number 1, number 2, number 3, but you know, at least I've climbed back up to where I started at least, so it's not all too shabby. Could be going a lot better, to say. But we're coming on to the final lap now. I'm literally just behind the Portuguese, or Algarve. Going a tiny bit wide there. Now I didn't push too hard into there, and he's trying to push me, to bugging me up there. I don't know why. It's like facing me. I'm going to overtake you because you buggered up on the first corner. I'm going to overtake, accept your fate. But I managed to overtake him. He was just trying to. I don't know if he was trying to do a punting, which obviously was going to fail. As after all, you hit me in the centre, in the sort of like in the doors. You're not really going to be able to do much while hitting me in doors. You want to bugger me up? Hit me in the back, tail, you know, spin me out that way, not hit my bloody doors. All it means is that I'm going to be trapped in the car later on. But duh. But I managed to overtake him, and it's just like, there you go, I've got past him, I'm leaving him behind, because I was faster in the corners, down there's a few people on here. Not all the corners there, but a couple of the corners. So I was able to use that to my advantage, and able to gain places and on people at that, by that way. Now at one point someone here has got a penalty, but I can't remember who it was, but I know someone had a penalty. I think it might have been the German in first. Yeah, well, he's second now. But yeah, well, he's back at first again now. But yeah, the German had a penalty. Now he's back in the second. But with his penalty, was that enough for me to be able to gain a position over him at the end? Well, we're near the end, so we'll find out. So it's coming up now. Coming up to the finish. And I get third. Unfortunately, the German's penalty was just a little bit too much, and it lost time, so I get a 3rd place podium. Not too bad, I'm not going to argue with that. Could have been a lot better, but hell, it could have been a lot more worse. Now, on to the next race in Interlagos. Alrighty then, here we are at Interlagos. Probably one of my favourite tracks in the game. This is one track I always enjoy doing this track, and I don't think I do too badly. I don't ever do too badly at this track. I suppose it can depend on what car I'm driving. I mean, I've been trying to do the Red Bull X 2014s, even though that's on the campaign and it's the AI, and the AI is not the smartest thing in this game, I'm still finding it a bit of a bitch. But I just need to get better with the actual Red Bull car. But you can see I qualified in 5th, so again, not a bad qualifying position. There's a question of, can I make any positions up on that? So I got 4 laps to do that. And you can see I'm sporting a rather oddish kind of decal here, like oddish kind of livery. For anyone who's seen me either on my on Facebook on Gran Turismo Sport Facebook page, or have seen any of my other videos, you'll know that I do a lot of my designs do incorporate sort of like the manga kind of style stuff. And a lot of it is to do with a specific group of Japanese characters, otherwise known as Vocaloids. Just in case if you're interested. If you're not interested, fair enough. So I'm just coming up to go now. I'm in 4th, and I managed to overtake the Austrian of the South. Oh, I can't remember his name. It's like Swansea or something like that. It's like Z-W-A-N-S-I, right? Yeah, like Z-I, Swansea. So I managed to take over him, and now I'm up in the 4th. Not bad. Now, the dominant car here did seem to be the Huracan, the Lamborghini. That was the, I think that was like the dominant car in all the top 10, in the top 10 lap times. It was, I think everyone, when I last looked at it, I think everyone did it in, it was all Huracan. Just Lamborghinis everywhere. But I decided to go for a different car. I wanted to do something a bit different. So, you know, it gets a little bit boring when you use the same car as everybody else, because you know a lot of people can use the dominant car, which is fair enough. It's a solid strategy to use the dominant car. But I wanted to go to something a little bit different. I thought I want to be the very odd person. One, a completely different car that nobody else had chose. I don't think anyone else chose for this race. And two, that I have probably the oddest livery in the race. To be honest, I probably got the odd. And now I don't know what that blue, yellow, red flag is. I don't know if that's Romania. I'm not 100% sure. But I don't know where the fuck he was going. I didn't quite see what happened there because I was looking at you people. I don't know if he got slightly hit and then went off, or if he just lost control of the car. But obviously, I think someone has left. Is there someone left or someone overtook? I don't know. You probably saw it probably more than what I did. But I'm now in third. So, oh yeah, yes, it would have been when I actually overtook the I believe Romanian. He was in actually the Lambo who actually went off earlier, because he went wide on one of the corner. He went wide on the first like set of corners. Went wide there, so I overtook him then. See, I get to talk to you people and I can't watch the race, but then I know how the race goes, so it's like. So, coming into the third lap, and still in third place. Now, Swansea is in the Cayman. Now he's going to start. So I'm trying to catch up with the. I'm not even going to bother trying to fucking pronounce that name. Mr. Italian, you can sod off. I ain't pronouncing your username. I was going to call you the Italian for now. But I'm trying to catch up with the Italian here, and but he's in the Audi TT, which the Audi TT is a very good car. Has a slight problem with oversteer, but all in all, down to the bone, it is one. Probably best cars in Group 4, and I'm chasing him down in a Hyundai Genesis. I'm probably not going to win, but you never know, he might make a mistake. But also, I'm trying to catch up with him, but at the same time as I'm trying to catch up with this Italian, Swansea in the Porsche is also actually very slowly actually starting to catch up. So I'm trying to sort of like balance on trying to keep ahead of Swansea, but also catch up with the Italian. Which sometimes trying to get that balance can be a little bit tricky. It's not always smooth run-ins with it. It can be a bit like, but I'm going to do the best that I can with it in the car, given that in the car that I'm in, which is probably the Hyundai Genesis. It's not a terrible car. It seems to be alright on the straights and it's okay in the corners. It's an all-round average car. It's not the fastest, it's not the best in the corners, but it's probably one that's very easy to drive. It's probably a very easy drivable car. It's a good one to go for if you're not used to GR4 cars and you don't know what you're going to go for. I think the Genesis is quite a good one to start with. So as you can see, Swansea is slowly actually catching up. He is slowly bringing that gap down. Unfortunately, again, I've pointed out in the previous video, unfortunately you don't get the split times, because the times are run through the server, so you don't get them in replays. But you can see he's not that far behind me. I think at this point he was like 7/10 of a second, 6/10 of a second, something like that. So one little mess up from me and he would overtake. Basically, it was that kind of situation. One mess up and he'll probably be able to take third place. So it's this kind of point where I've decided, alright, I'm going to ease off the Italian a little bit. We're on the last lap, and I'm not really gaining any ground on the Italian. So now I'm going to just drive smoothly, but also try and keep ahead of the Austrian. But he did, as you can see, he's near enough right at my arse. The character on the back's going to have a bit of a surprise if he doesn't brake soon enough. But yeah, I think at this point he does do that corner. He does go wrong a little bit in that corner, because at this point I did start to gain more time on him, so he did obviously fall back a little bit at this point. But I still wasn't close enough to take basically second place, so I will be finishing this race again in third, but this time a more legitimate third rather than a lucky third. But all in all, not a bad race. Not the most eventful, but a good result. A nice third position. And now we come on to race C at Yamagiwa and Miyabi. And here we are at Yamagiwa and Miyabi. Now this was the last race in the manufacturer series, and I was going to do a video on that race because my first race in the manufacturer series did appear in one of my videos. Now I was going to do a video on the Yamagiwa and Miyabi race, but what am I on about? That was the fucking race. No, when it was at Fuji was the last one. Don't mind me, I'm a bit of an idiot. But no, when it was at Fuji, that race, it went bad. And I thought, I'm not going to do a video on this. I mean, if I didn't get the best result, I still would have done the video, but it just went horribly wrong near the end, and I was just like, yeah, screw it. I'm not going to do a video on it. But I finished 12th in the end, and it was not great. So, but here we are, at Yamagiwa and Miyabi, but this time in reverse. So, for me, the breaking points in this one and as you can see there was a bit of an incident between me and the Porsche and the guy in the NSX. Now I didn't hit the guy in the NSX that hard. It was only a light little tap. But unfortunately, the guy in the Porsche obviously hit me a lot harder. Now, okay, in that kind of instance, I will obviously take the blame for that. I probably braked a little bit too hard, but obviously at the same time, I was trying to not smash into the guy in the NSX because I think he had a bit of trouble with that corner at that point, so I didn't want to smash into him. So it's like I had to kind of bite the bullet. But I'm not gonna blame the guy in the Porsche for basically hitting me off there. It was just a basic racing accident, basically. But as you can see, I have dropped down now to 16th. I was 12th and 16th. So it's a question of, can I gain any more positions? Now I'm car number 5, and as you can see, I am now sporting a much more cutesy, shall we say, livery design. Now, excuse me, I'm going to have a bit of coffee. But yeah, then the guy in the Volkswagen just went straight off like a Muppet. Yeah, I had a bit of a problem with a couple of the Spanish, the Spanish drivers in here. They were always a bit like argy-bargy kind of thing. And then so obviously now I've dropped down to 17th, so far not a great start. But obviously someone went off there, I think anyway, someone did. So I managed to climb back up a position. Whoop-de-doo. But the power of my livery is not helping me here. I know, it's just, I got a feeling it's too cute. I got a feeling it's too cutesy that the other drivers are taking me seriously. They're like, no, you don't need that cutesy car, this is it. Let's just hit them off. You see, I've dropped down to 17, so again, this is not going great for me, this race. But I managed to gain back up to 16th. See, though, at the moment this race is not going well, this has definitely been more eventful than the others. And there's only a rule in lap 2, and it has been a bit more eventful. So on this race I've gone for the medium tyre strategy. But I wasn't entirely sure which strategy to go for this race. I wasn't entirely sure if to go for hards or to go for mediums. And I was just watching Super GT just a little bit before this, and he's just doing a live stream of the daily races, and he was on this particular race at that time. And in the end, he said to do a medium run, so medium pit, mediums, because he said that was their strategy. Now I don't know if that's the case, but I do know that he is pretty good at the game anyway. So it's all like, if I'm going to follow advice that I hear, and if it's from him, I'm going to at least consider the advice. I may not always necessarily follow the advice, but I will at least consider the advice. But I thought for this, because I did the manufacturer series race when I was in Toyota, because that's who I'm with in the manufacturers. I did that on a medium strategy, and it worked quite well for me in that race as well. So I thought again, I'll give the mediums a go again. And obviously, you see there, I'm just losing positions. I'm bleeding positions right now. And I'm back down to 17th. This is not going well at all. But well, at least I'm not stone dead last. That's the main thing. That's the nice thing. At least I'm not stone dead last. I'm training behind and thinking like, nobody wants to race with me. I'm stuck, basically. But yeah, so I decided to go in the end. I went for the mediums, medium tyres, pitting on lap 4, I think. Pitting on lap 4, come out lap 5, and then do another run on the mediums to the end. You know, and see how that went. And you can see I managed to climb up 1 or 2 positions again now. See, there's a lot of like climbing up and down just between me and like 2 other drivers, constantly. So we're going around this. Now the problem with this race is then when you're doing this in the normal way around, it's the right hand side, especially the front right, that gets a fucking completely utter battering. But on this one, on this occasion, it was the front left that was going to die of death, and die of death did it do. So I'm now back up behind the NSX that I give a little bit of a bobbing into earlier. But obviously I'm trying to do my best to obviously not smack into him. I'm not obviously trying my best not to smash into people. And you see he goes a bit wide there, so I use that as an opportunity to overtake. The guy in McLaren was ghosted, but I just didn't have the speed coming out of that corner, so it was like, okay, I'm gonna now go onto the side there, squeeze in, and now I'm gonna overtake because I've got the inside line. I think it's a little tiny, couple of little tiny knocks, 1 or 2 little tiny knocks there, but you know, no harm, no foul, and managed to climb up into 12th place. And there's 20 people in the race. I don't think this race has ended on 20 people. I think this race ended with about like 16 people, I think, in the end. I know a few people left in the end. I don't know if it was just because of internet problems or rage quitting, whatever thing. So I think later on in the race, my positions might suddenly change, even though I don't overtake anybody. That's just because people were leaving the race. Again, for what purposes, not 100% sure. So it's coming on to the straight bit before the little downhill left section. Which doing this in reverse is a hell of a lot worse than doing it going uphill. It's a hell of a lot worse going uphill, downhill than it is going uphill. Especially this car, because this car at this point was getting so bouncy on those corners. I had to be very careful what I was doing, because if I bounced incorrectly, it would suddenly send the car jolting to the left, or suddenly send the car jolting to the right, which then made me go smack into the wall like a douche. But lucky enough, I managed to keep it under control. But a few people have pitted, and now I'm climbed up to 10th. Hooray! I'm in the top 10 finally after so much trial and tribulation. Finally to get in the top 10 finally. So we're going into sort of an okay part of the track. I mean, most of the tracking ways up with braking points in the end. After doing a bit of practice on it, I thought I got down. Yeah, there's still a couple of corners where I wasn't entirely sure where the braking point was. So it was mainly the points where the Yamagiwa joins the Miyabi track. So basically like, this corner was one. I wasn't entirely sure where the braking point was on that one and then when you're coming off of Miyabi going back onto Yamagiwa, those two corners is where I was a bit like, I still don't know where the braking points are, and it's like but I managed to survive, so you know, I didn't have to rage quit like last week. I had to each race at least fucking once because it just went absolutely down the shit. Now, unfortunately, I got slightly tapped by the Englishman in the Aston Martin. Now, I did go back through the replay. I was going a bit wide, so I probably would have at least went wide. I don't think I would have went off, but I would have definitely gone a bit wide. But then unfortunately the guy in the Aston Martin did slightly tap me there. So I don't think it was. I don't think he basically he didn't intentionally punt me off, because I did watch the replay from his angle as well just to see what happened, and it was only a very light touch. But since I was already going wide because I was in my front left tyre was dying of death, you know, he tapped me just a little bit too much, and that just pushed the car just a little bit too wider. And unfortunately, would have given him obviously got him a penalty because I went off the track. And due to the way that the penalty system works, it's like, oh, you touched him, he went off, you get a penalty. But he wasn't an intentional punting. He had no need to do an intentional punting because he was generally going around fast anyways. I think he pitted in like the lap 4, I think. So he was going around generally faster anyway, so as you can see, he's already made himself back up to second place, so meh. We're down to 19 cars. I don't know when that changed, I have no idea. But pitted in 10th, 11th, and come out in 15th, so I'm pretty much basically back where I started at the whole goddamn race. And it's like, oh, all that work, and I'm gonna make it up again. Oh, bugger me. So this was a very, not so much hard fought race, but it was a very, I don't know. A lot more happened in this race than the previous races, I will say, basically. You know, a lot more happened. So, I have the Spanish guy of, I'm not going to give him the whole, I'm not going to read out his whole username, but I'm just going to call him Yav. Well, it was either Yav or Jav, I'm just going to call him Yav. Well, I got Yav behind me again now. He was one of those who was always a bit like a little bit argy-bargy kind of thing. He wasn't, you know, like ram, sort of like ram you off kind of thing, but he was always like a bit pushy. But the problem is, he is in the Toyota, he is in the Supra, which is one of the better cars for this track. It's the dominating car for this track seems to have been any of the Toyotas, either the FT1 or the Supra. I think the FT1 was the more dominant one, but I think the Supra is also a very good one around this track, which he is in the Supra. I'm in the GTR. Which on the straight, the GTR is fast. It's got the straight, it's got the top end, but the corners it does let itself down a little bit. You know, it does let itself down in the corners a little bit. And obviously that's going to play a little bit of a part later on in the race when the tyres are starting to wear down again on the last lap. It's like I'm going to be obviously fighting the car a little bit again. Because of that front left wheel. But you see there's a bit of a gap between me and 14th, and only a very small gap between me and 16th, so it's like so I'm trying to catch up with 14th, but at the same time I've sort of got to defend against the fan behind me. But a couple of people pit, and then we do manage to basically gain a couple of positions and rise up to 13th place. So again, still not doing amazingly well, but I could be doing a hell of a lot worse, I suppose. But we're on lap 6, Frenchman going off a little bit there. So I used this opportunity to overtake the Frenchman and basically get 12th. Go a bit wide there, kind of buggered up, but luckily the Frenchman also went a little bit wide there, so he wasn't able to overtake again. But I still got Yaf behind me. He's glued to me. He's glued to me. He's even out is always fucking fixated on the cuteness of the car. I know it's probably a very girly car, isn't it? But then, it's the creativity that counts. But no, back to the race. You know, I managed to open a bit of a gap between me and Yav. I think there was a point where I was starting to open up a gap between me and Yav, but then it did start to drop down again near the end because obviously because my tyres were starting to get a bit bad, shall we say. But we're going to see if we can hold him off. You know, let's see if we can hold off Yav. Right, so coming up to the hilly bits. I can never remember where the fuck I am on this track. I'm like, I'm here, am I there, I'm over there, no I'm there now, what? But yeah, again, a lot of the longer right-handers in this track, so that's why your lefts do suffer a bit more, but especially that front left suffers really badly. We're coming up the downhill section. At the points when the tyres are really bad, that downhill section is okay. It's a nightmare in general when you're going downhill, but when your tyres are really bad and you can't turn you can't turn the car as well. Trying to do that thing is really horrible. But I see now 2 more people have left the race. There's 2 people gone. There was 19, now there's 17. And so I've now managed to climb up to 10th place. So I'm gaining positions because people are fucking off. It's got nothing to do with skill. Because I have no skill. I'm not a skillful driver, I just drive. If I do well, I do well. If it all goes horribly wrong, it all goes horribly wrong. Really. But, you know, I'm still going to try and obviously hold that position, see if I can keep 10th. But now, problem is now, I now have Jav not far behind, and now a German, I think it's, Serve Count 1, I'm just going to call him Serve for short. But I've also got Serve now slowly coming up from behind as well. So now I have 2 people. Yav and Serve. And there's still a little bit of a gap, but again, my tyres are, especially that front left, is slowly dying. So soon enough, by the 8th lap, some of these corners are going to be really hard to get around, in a good way, and that will tell by my split times of my 8th lap and my fastest lap. Because at the moment it's like 0.135 or something. I think that was. No, so the gap's not huge. But trust me, by the 8th lap it gets a whole lot fucking worse. So one more person has now just suddenly left. Now I don't know who it was, but I got enough feeling it was might have been the 2 British people, because for a lot of time in the race it was the British 1, 2, 3, and now all of a sudden there's only 1 British guy left in there. So I got enough feeling it may have been 2 of the British people, and one of those was the guy who was in the Aston who accidentally slightly tapped me early on, making me go off. So I managed to get into 9th again by sheer of no skill whatsoever. But as you can see now, Yav has severely caught up. He's in right at my arse. And the German Serve is not that far behind. So soon I'm going to have to start defending against 2 people. So coming up into the first corner, at this point I knew Yav was a lot faster than me. He was going to get around faster than me. So at this point I was like, right, I'm not gonna bother trying to fight Yav here, because he is setting the faster pace. So I'm gonna let him through. I'm not gonna bother fighting, because all it's gonna do is cause problems. So I had to concede to Yav. But as soon as I can concede defeat to one driver, I have to suddenly start defending against another. This was a very for a large sugar, but this is a very hard fought race for a position that, to be honest with you, is not amazingly great. But it does make for a bit more slightly entertaining watching, because it is like, oh, at least I'm actually racing against people, so you can see how I deal with people, rather than being like, oh, your head that far ahead, you got that and that gap between those people, or you just bite yourself like a little Larry Loner. So it's a bit more fun to watch at least, but it was a bloody hard fought fight just for an position. But as you can see, my lap times now is like, I think it was like 1.7. I didn't quite catch it then. It's like, I'm at 2.1 seconds down on my fastest lap, which was lap 6. That was only a couple of laps ago, and I'm like nearly 2.5 seconds slower because that front left is just dying of death. But I'm still managing to hold off Serve. Yeah, I'm able to keep pace with Yav because I think I've got the hard top end, but Yav's car is better in the corners. So I'm able to keep up with him, but I'm at no point really in that much of a position to be able to overtake him, unfortunately. So it's just, but I think at this point I'm just thinking, alright, I'm just gonna try and get 10th at this point. I'm not gonna try and catch up and get 9th because it's not gonna happen. So we're gonna stick with trying to get 10th. But unfortunately I had the German right up my arse. And so, but I've managed to do his overtake in the end. I'm just moving in front of him just in the end, just to stop him overtaking, and just about hold him off. So in the end, not the best result, but it could have been a lot more worse. But that's it for these daily races. Please remember to like and subscribe and to share this video with some of your friends. And as always, I will see you at the finishing line.